Hello everyone, Michael the Librarian of Magic here, finding and cataloging the magical and pointing you to it. Today is October the 19th, and I have returned with another Halloween drawing, another Halloween treat. Same disclaimers as usual, etc., etc. If you've been following the series, you know what I'm talking about there. With that out of the way, today's Halloween treat, the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Now I decided to color this one, which I don't normally do, just depends on, when it strikes me. But with this one, I felt like you really can't have the Queen of Hearts without a little splash of red. It just wouldn't be right. Um, this character was, this design and animation was the work of Frank Thomas, one of the legendary Nine Old Men, and made for the film Alice in Wonderland. Characterization wise, in terms of her, mannerisms and behaviors and stuff, she's really an amalgamation of the characters from Lewis Carroll's, both of Lewis Carroll's Alice stories. The Queen of Hearts and the Duchess from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and the Red Queen from Through the Looking Glass. She kind of embodies, all of those things. The main characterization with her, and one of the reasons why I find her so appealing and interesting, she's so highly expressive because she is so hot-tempered, just not even bordering all the way to the level of being totally deranged. I don't think there's a Disney villain maybe that can turn on a dime to such a high level of temper as quickly as she does, and she almost she's well aware of her own temper. She revels in her own uh, anger. There are times where she has some lines that are, I think at one point she cuts off one of her attendants saying, "Yeah, yeah, can we skip to the part where I lose my temper?" She's just enjoys the fact that she's waiting to fly off the handle. She knows that about herself, and she enjoys it. And it's, the level of it is, it goes from being regal to off with their heads in seconds. She was brilliantly voiced by Verna Felton, who is sort of a legendary voice actor. She brought a lot of characters to life in her career. She was the voice of Aunt Sarah in Lady and the Tramp, and in a really interesting coincidence, her son Lee Miller was actually the voice of Jim Deere in that same movie. So she got a chance to work with her son because she was a little bit older of an actor by the time she got around to working in some of these classic Disney movies. She did work on Dumbo. She was actually uncredited as the voice of both the elephant matriarch and Mrs. Jumbo. And in terms of elephants as well, she was the voice of Winifred the elephant in the Jungle Book, which was a posthumous credit because, much like Walt Disney, she died during the making of the Jungle Book. In fact, in another weird coincidence, she died of a stroke just a few hours before Walt Disney actually passed away. So she died very, very close to Walt Disney. And just like the movie was posthumously released with Walt Disney working on it, same with her. And also, very famously, she was the voice of the fairy godmother in Cinderella in 1950. She was also the voice of Flora, one of the fairies in Sleeping Beauty. So she had a very notable Disney career. She additionally was the voice, very famously, of Pearl Slaghoople, who was Fred Flintstone's really thorny mother-in-law that he had to deal with in many episodes of that show. So she has a well-known voice and a very well-established career in animation, and some really choice roles, really famous roles that she got to tackle over her career. In later years, from the 80s into the 2010s, when needed for various shows and specials, the Queen of Hearts in the Disney incarnations was voiced by Tress MacNeille. I talked about her career a little bit before in some of the other episodes of this series, and she is one of those big-time players in voice acting. She's got such a variety of roles. And then from 2011 forward, when the Queen of Hearts has been called upon in video games and shows and things like that, she's been voiced by April Winchell. April Winchell, you may recognize as the voice of Ms. Finster in Recess, and Peg Pete in Goof Troop, Pete's wife in Goof Troop, and she did a lot of other voices too, minor roles and stuff in a lot of the Disney afternoon shows, including other voices for Goof Troop and Bonkers and just a bunch of those other shows, Darkwing Duck and so on. So this actor or this character, even through the various voice actors who have voiced her over time, has got a really good pedigree, befitting of the Queen of Hearts, if you ask me. Anyway, she's just a great character. You can see her from time to time in the Disney parks, and she does some meet and greets, in the various parks. She's not super duper rare. You can see her around from time to time, and she's just a great character design. And I think it's so fun. She's so expressive. A lot of her expressions obviously are very angry and rageful. And I kind of wanted purposefully to pick one where she was looking sort of sweet and, uh, you know, unlike her flying off the handle self, because I thought that was sort of amusing and a little bit more of a contrast to how angry she gets and angry and unreasonable that she gets for most of the film. I decided to go with this pose instead, a little bit more regal and queenly, so to speak. But like I said, I felt I had to throw some red in there for the Queen of Hearts. She would it would be off with my head if I didn't. So I decided to throw that in. Anyway, that's a little bit about the Queen of Hearts and the people who brought her to life, voiced her and animated her. And there you go, the Queen of Hearts. Is she one of your favorite characters? I know that she's been in many other incarnations, like the live-action movies and all of that stuff, which I didn't necessarily mention. That's probably for a different video for a different day, but let me know down below if you do have connections to that stuff or just enjoy this character in general or any other tidbits that you think are worth noting. Thanks as always for liking, commenting, and subscribing on these. Thanks for following along through the month of October. I hope you're enjoying these and that it's a nice little bright spot in your day and that you're learning as much as I am throughout this process, or maybe just enjoying the drawings, or inspiring you to go watch some of the films or learn some more about this stuff, about animation history and where we've come and all that good stuff. So thanks as always for watching these. Come back tomorrow when I'll have another Halloween treat for you. And until then, take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.